couple stripes got taken off. Warren Ball was I didn't know I didn't recruit Warren, and but the more I get to know him, the more I'm really glad he's a Buckeye, tough guy, hard runner, and yeah, it's really made as much progress as anybody. He was a non-factor really for about 5-6 months. It's Cardell Jones. He's done a nice job. He's done a nice job. So those are two. With that, I'll answer any questions.
You said last week was going to be a make or break week for your team. Which was it?
Oh, it was a make. If it was a break, I probably won't tell you. But it was. I'm proud of. I like where we're at right now. We're certainly not perfect. But our guys are trying. We're doing decent. The area where we're much improved is throwing and catching. Much improved. We could have gone much the other way, but they are much improved.
Or is there
The receivers that have stepped up, have beaten them to death, and probably they deserved it. If you watch film, they weren't very good. Devin Smith's doing a nice job. Philly Brown's the #1 receiver right now. Devin Smith is doing pretty good. Jake Stoneburner had a good day today. Michael Thomas had a little bit of an injury, but he's back full speed. So guys are doing pretty good. Oh, Nick Vanette. Nick Vanette is a guy that, once again, I think I said that. I can't remember if I said it, but he's one of the most improved guys on the team.
Is he now your #1 at that spot?
Well, Hireman had a little bit of a tug on his hamstring. He's back now, full speed, so it's 50-50. You know, Hireman's a little bit better of a point of attack blocker.
Yeah.
But he's also got skill catching the ball. But right now, I can't remember what name is hard, but I don't know what it is.
How comfortable do you feel with the receivers as a group right now going into Miami?
Not where we need to be, but so much improved. We just enjoy being around them. Didn't enjoy being around non-competitive. They weren't competing in the spring. They're competing now. So I enjoy being around guys like that. It means something to them, which is kind of neat to see.
You satisfied with where you were in line play? Obviously, defense you're happy with. What about offense?
Offense, #1 group, very. The right tackle is still, we got to get better. Taylor Decker and Reed Fragel are the two that are fighting for that spot. We can't name a starter right now. Marcus Hall, the two guards are playing very well. The center's playing well. The left tackle's playing well. The right tackle's got to be a little better. We're trying. It's got to. One at times looks like a freshman because he is, and one looks like a guy that just moved from tight end.
What do they need to do to separate somebody take that job at right tackle? What do you need to see?
Consistency and tougher. Just to be tougher. It's fresh in my mind. You got slapped around a little bit today.
Herbert, what do you feel about that the new rules, especially the kickoff moving up to 35 and the touchback to 25?
Well, I've coached kickoff now for 25 years, and without the running start, I'm all in for player safety, and I think it will help. But you don't have near the momentum going. If you have a 10-yard running start, you're hitting like a fly. You're full speed like that at 10 yards. It takes you a while. So, and we do a lot of moving around, so it's completely changed the way we approach kickoff. And we're still not where we need to be.
Will you prefer kicking it out of the end zone and giving it?
Depends who we're facing. We're
Okay.
facing a freak. It's a problem. Yeah, kick it out of the end zone. If it's the 25-yard line where they get it back is also just that 5 yards. That's a big difference. So if it's someone we can handle, I think we're going to try to drop it in there. If it's a guy that we don't want to touch the ball, I'd like to drive it deep.
You know,
Is
is
that
that
captains, just a general statement on those guys?
Yeah, we got 5 guys named captain. Some obvious, some rather not obvious. Simon, obviously, and Zach Warren. Those are the 2 #1 vote getters. Sabino was the 3rd one to come a long way. I didn't realize he hadn't played that much. Because he acts like a veteran player, and he's playing pretty good ball for us. Who was the other one?
Global and
Who was the other one?
Hall.
Jordan Hall.
Jordan Hall was a guy that, his GPA in the last 2 semesters, that tells you what he's done, over 3.0. And then Garrett Goebel, I think I made the comment, I didn't know Garrett. In the first 4 months I was here, just kind of a quiet guy that doesn't look real good when we're doing the running around cones. But he plays really good as a G and an inside player, and tough as nails. I love the guy. He's who we want at Ohio State. Just a tough guy with no nonsense that plays hard.
Coach, how do you, you've done a ton of national media. What do you think the value of the local media is? Just what's their
The value of the local media?
Right. I wanted to be at that scrimmage Saturday, by the way.
Yeah, we all did.
The value of the local media as a I don't get the question.
Maybe opposed to the national media, I guess, kind of shapes who you are. message maybe you want to get out?
I don't look at it like that. You talking about like the all access deal?
Yeah, just
I
like.
think that's the only
like-
national we do, is that right?
So far.
Yeah, the only reason I did that, I wasn't going to do it because I don't want people in this meeting room, but I felt like with all the stings that Ohio State's took in the last 12 months, and, I've taken, just the negativity. I want people to actually, because a lot of people have opinions about our program. That's the only reason I did that. And I watched, they sent me some clips of the Oklahoma and, who else did they do? Alabama, and I just watched about, one night, watched about 45 minutes of each. I thought it was a pretty good story. So that's the only reason we did that.
Well,
Nothing ditching the local media.
I understand.
Just you was the only.
I appreciate you. I'm old and I got tough skin, all right. Will we get to see your team do anything meaningful before the first?
I'll talk to Jerry about that. I don't mind that, yeah.
Urban, you talked about wanting.
Is that a request?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's the request is duly noted.
Wanting your camp to be as physical as you can make it, but stay healthy. Were you able to do that, or anything significant over the last couple of weeks, health-wise?
Unbelievable. The way we practiced. I don't think we lost a guy, have we?
Not anybody significant, that we wouldn't expect to be out on the
So
field.
on the side, you got
first.
Frank Atropoulos with a hamstring. You got Jordan Hall with a foot. You got
Domicone had a,
Don McCone did you guys know he got scoped? He'll be back 2 more weeks.
Shazier?
Hireman had about a week injury.
Shazier.
Shazier got dinged a little bit, but he's back.
Where does Epitropoulos go? Is he an athlete? Where does he fit in right
I
now?
don't know, he had practiced.
That's not at all.
Not enough to give you an about.
Urban, is it ever possible to push guys too hard in a preseason? Or how do you find that balance? Obviously, you want to challenge them as much as possible, but how do you
I
know
think so.
what the right balance is?
The only thing I worry about is the health and the heat. I'm scared to death of heat, but we've been pretty fortunate. We got to deal with it, so we try to push them as hard as we possibly can. And how you evaluate that is just over the last 10 years, how you do in the first 4 games. We've done, I think we're 39-1 or something like that in our first 4 games, and we have really hard camps. And sometimes you play teams you're better than, but sometimes you don't. So that's how I just every year try to evaluate, are we going too hard? But we're fine.
As you sit right now, are you confident, or you still got 2 weeks to go, that you'll put a pretty competent offense out there the first day, opening game?
I feel like that's a great way of saying it. I think right now the offense will be fairly competent. I can't say great because I don't see that yet, but I see competency. I see the ball being snapped correctly. I see an offensive line protecting and doing the right things, and the skills starting to improve. And it didn't look like that way for the first 2 weeks in spring.
What did you get out of the scrimmage on Saturday?
Offense kind of had its way. We did 1s and 2s a lot, so the 1s didn't go against, but the 1s, the offense moved the ball really well. Braxton threw, I want to say, did you give him the stats?
no.
The stats, he threw for 350 yards in the scrimmage, so he had a good day. Really, I didn't realize that until after the scrimmage.
Other than the things you mentioned, what are the questions you still have about this team?
Overall toughness. You don't want to get hit in the face, really give in. I don't know. I guess there's only one way to find out, but so far they've handled it.
Can you talk about Carlos Hyde that's in your offense? I know I don't think you've had too many big backs over your career. I know there's been some exceptions like Deshaun Wynn, but I know he's a fast guy too, Hyde, but how does he fit in your offense? Big
We have
230
2 big guys at Utah. One guy ran for 900, Warfield, and Marty Johnson. And then Quinton Ganther, they were all bigger backs. At Florida, we had the scat back with the big quarterback. Here we have the scat quarterback with the big back. So there's ways to do it. I mean, it looks really good. It looks decent right now.
Thank you very much.
Last one?
Go ahead.
How does camp change now after, you've been going at it hard, as we were talking about, for a couple of weeks? Where does the focus change, like this week, knowing that?
We're going to go try to win a game now. We're trying to win a game. Here in the past, today was all game planning. We're doing a lot of scout work against each other. We don't do as much against each other. It's a lot of scout work against what we're going to see that first game. So it's much different this week than it was last week.
Great. Coach,
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you very much.
Thank you.